What's up, everyone? It's the day after the US elections, and we're going to see how our analysis played out. So, ADCAT respected our analysis nicely, like we expected. We were expecting price to tap that supply and then respect that bearish order flow. We took out that low, as we said, but for now, I'm going to stay out because right now it's a little choppy. So, we just want to stay out. I'm not going to get involved in any trades right now. ADC chip did break to the upside eventually. We got a solid reaction off of it, like we analyzed. We were analyzing that supply zone. We got two reactions off of it, so you should have been, if you were in a trade, you should have been at break even. So you didn't lose any money. The expectation was, of course, to take out that low. We got two solid reactions. We never managed to take out that low with the news yesterday of the US election pumping price to the upside. Right now, we're going to wait for a solid break of structure. Once we get that solid break, we're going to look for a change of character to trade back into demand. And then once we tap demand, we're going to be looking for longs. AUD JPY hasn't really changed. AUD NZD, like we analyzed yesterday, we said that we're most likely going to trade back into supply, but I wouldn't be surprised if we liquidated these highs first, which is exactly what happened. We liquidated these highs. Once we liquidated the highs, we got a solid reaction to the downside. You could look for shorts right now from that supply zone. Do keep in mind that there is still some liquidity above, so that does lower your probability. Anyways, mechanically, you could look for shorts and then targeting that low. But like I said too, this week is a little bit unpredictable, so do be cautious if you do end up doing that. This one played out perfectly to the T. Like we said, we were probably going to tap that refined supply zone. We tapped that and then we skyrocketed to the downside, targeting that low. Right now, we're going to wait for price to basically get a clear break of structure, and then we can look for our longs back into supply, and then we can look for shorts from there. But right now, we're just going to wait. Like I said, you got to be cautious still for the rest of the week. This price might be a little bit volatile and uncertain. This one ended up breaking to the upside. All of that liquidity that we marked out, we were expecting price originally to follow that bearish order flow. Like I said too, if price is following bearish order flow for a long period of time, there's a good chance that eventually will reverse, especially with that liquidity built up. So now with that break to the upside, we're going to wait for a solid change of character, and then we're going to look for shorts back into demand. And then once we tap demand, we're going to be looking for longs to take out that high. CAD JPY hasn't really changed too much either. We were expecting to trade back into demand, which is what we did. So we did respect our analysis. Now we've got that break to the upside, so we're going to wait for a solid change of character. Once we get that, we're going to look for shorts back into demand. Then once we tap demand, we're going to be looking for longs. Next up is CHF JPY. Hasn't really changed too much. Euro AUD has played out very nicely. We were expecting to trade back into demand. We were looking for shorts originally, but we never really got that change of character, so we missed out on shorts. But anyways, we were looking for shorts from the supply zone back into demand, which is what happened. You could trade shorts still to try and mitigate that a little bit lower. Do keep in mind that that is a little riskier than looking for shorts up here. But then the overall expectation remains that we're going to tap into demand and then take out that high. EuroCAD. So we traded back into demand like we analyzed. However, we're getting a really, really strong reaction, or basically a really strong impulse to the downside. So my expectation now is to basically break that to the downside. Also, if you zoom out, we're still in a range right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just take out liquidity on one of these sides. So for right now, I'm staying out. I'm not really looking to get involved on Euro CAD. Euro CHF, we got a reaction off of that supply zone, or that demand zone, excuse me, very nicely. We're expecting price to trade to the upside right now. Euro GBP played out relatively nicely. We got that bearish trend to the downside, tapping into demand. Once again, we are seeing a really strong impulse to the downside on the euro pairs right now, which might lower our probability. So be cautious. If you're going to look for longs right now, make sure you get a really clear change of character and then look for longs to take out that high. Euro JPY hasn't changed. Euro NZD has played out very nicely, trading back into demand. You could be looking for shorts from there. And then once we tap demand, we're expecting price to trade to the upside. Euro USD ended up playing out like we analyzed last week. We were a little bit too early though. We were expecting price to react off of that and then traded the downside, but we ended up a little higher, and now eventually we respected that analysis anyways. Right now, you can look for a clear change of character and then trade longs back into supply, and then from supply, look for shorts. GBP AUD hasn't changed too much. GBP CAD hasn't changed either. GBP CHF hasn't changed. Same with GBP NZD. GBP USD has changed. So we were expecting to trade bearish, which is exactly what happened. Basically, we did get stopped out at break even. You would have gotten slightly liquidated. Maybe some of you would still be in that trade. Anyways, we were expecting to take out that low, which is exactly what happened. Now we're going to wait for a clear change of character to trade longs back into supply. Once we tap supply, we're going to be looking for shorts. NZD CAD hasn't changed too much either. NZD CHF is slowly breaking to the upside. We're going to be looking for shorts back into demand. Once we tap demand, we're going to be looking for longs. NZD JPY hasn't changed. NZD USD played out nicely like we expected, but for now we're going to stay out because we want to see some clear price action. And right now we're just kind of playing with those wicks. So we're going to stay out similar to AUD USD. USD CAD played out really nicely. We analyzed that demand zone. We got a really strong reaction off of it. The expectation is to take out that high right there. So you can look for longs to take out that high. Once we take out that high, we're going to wait for a change of character to look for shorts back into demand, and then we're going to be looking for longs from that demand. Right now, we're just waiting to take out that high. We got a really solid reaction off of it, so you could be in a break-even trade by now. USD CHF didn't play out as we expected, mainly due to the US election news. We were waiting for a solid change of character, and then we were going to look for shorts from that level. We never really got that, and then we saw a really strong impulse to the upside when the election news came out. So right now I'm looking to stay out. If you want to get involved, wait for a clear change of character, then look for shorts back into demand, and then look for longs from demand. UJ is kind of the same way. Look for change of character, look for shorts into demand, and then once we tap demand, we're going to be looking for longs, and gold hasn't really changed. So that's it for today.